really want to talk about first? Like you're very curious or worried about a hand you played, a particular spot, or should I just kind of
I
talk?
I have a I play a simplify strategy like in position like a chibet full range,
Hmm
33% of pot and c-bet full range, but
hmm
probably eh, at, at low stake not work very well. In
hmm
general, probably not maximize the EV,
Yeah.
the
So
expectation value.
the reason we talk about this stuff and the reason we talk about theory in general is probably 15% to like make our strategy better by being exploited less, and 85% to make our strategy better by exploiting our opponents more. So anytime I explain how a spot is supposed to work, what I'm not saying is do this or else people will bully you. They will take advantage of you. What I'm saying is understand this well so you know what to adjust in your strategy to punish the mistakes your opponent makes.
Or tendencies of my opponent.
Right, yes. So, for example, like what we'll cover today will teach how to punish someone who plays like you. It's not to say that
Yeah.
what you're doing is bad versus the pool, but there's a way to hurt that player. And there's lots of players like that. So,
Probably I know a little bit about this because with the PO I simulate a lot of spot, so I know a little bit that versus my strategy, check raise a lot on flop.
mhm.
Uh,
Yeah,
so I know a little bit where is
yeah,
the direction, but
yeah.
I don't know in depth.
Sure. So we'll try to talk a bit about the theory behind that today.
Yeah.
I want to just give us a few quick examples to get warmed up, okay? Let's say that under the gun raises and we call in. Actually, let's do this example first. Let's say that we raise the button, big blind calls, flop is king seven deuce. We check. The villain bets one third. We check raise, okay?
Okay.
And let's say that the rest of the hand does not really matter. It's just that eventually your opponent shows you Jack 10 of hearts.
Okay.
What would you do to exploit this player? Would you check raise only value? Would you barrel the
Uh,
turn more
ca-
often with all your bluffs?
can you repeat? He check raise Jack T. So is that
We check raise. We check raise in the big blind with any hand. Doesn't matter. King, queen, let's say. Right?
okay?
And when our opponent, so we're gonna hit. I just haven't hit this yet because I don't want you to
Okay.
see the strategy. Uh,
Okay.
so king queen whatever it doesn't matter. But they show us Jack 10 of hearts like in the button. This is the check raise range, but the button calls with Jack 10 of hearts.
Hmm. I don't know. Is that
What do you
bluff?
think? What would you do?
Because he have a big check raise. So
No,
which
we check raise. We're in the big blind.
I am on B blind.
We check raise. Button calls Jack 10 of hearts.
Oh, I think I want to check raise all hands have equity like overcard, king, probably e7. Uh,
Hmm
so and then and the all value like
Yeah,
no, I don't know double pair and so on.
yeah. So that makes sense. Lots of students say this. More value, equity driven, barrel turn more. All of this makes sense, except that what we see here.
I don't know, sbilanciare. I think I check raise all value
Yeah.
and a big equity. Don't check raise bluff with this opponent probably because it's a
Okay.
calling station.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah. So what if I told you that your opponent is not a calling station? They're a GTO god
Homage.
because Jack 10 of Hearts is a pure call, right?
Okay.
So this goes to show that if we don't understand theory, fundamentally, we don't understand how to exploit our opponents because here we start changing our strategy and playing worse versus Linus Love or whoever, like some guy who knows just how wide the calling range is supposed to be here,
Okay.
right?
Right.
So if you're wondering why this is a call and like why is Jack 10 offsuit a fold, but Jack 10 of hearts is a call, well, Jack 10, it's got a million outs against A7, right? Like it's doing pretty well against A7. And then it has more backdoor potential than it really looks like. Like a queen gives it an open ender, a
Okay.
nine gives it a double gutter, eight gives it a gut shot, ace gives it a gut shot, right? So it's got some backdoor potential. And also it unblocks most of our bluffs which contain backdoors. Like 10-8 of spades, right? 10-8 of diamonds, 10-8 of clubs. This is the hand we never check raise, right? And so if we have hearts, it's more likely that our opponent has some kind of bluff.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah, but in game it's really hard to think about it.
Oh, for sure, for sure. But it just goes to show you, right, that like even if your opponent was like calling wide here because they're bad, they happen to be right, right?
Okay.
So it's like the English phrase a broken clock is right twice a day.
No, I don't know.
It just means that like if you always do the same thing wrong,
Okay.
eventually you're gonna be right. Like if
Okay.
I go around and I say like everyone's a murderer, this guy's a murderer, that guy's a murderer, that guy's a murderer, eventually I'll be right, you know?
Okay.
Like
Okay, understand.
and so if you're playing a station, sometimes you can't like, they're actually correct. There's no way to exploit them.
Understood.
Yeah. So yeah, so that's the basic idea of why we learn GTO is to learn how to exploit our opponents.